Hey Los Blancos fans! Welcome back. We've got some massive stories to cover today, including Ancelotti's public criticism of young star Endrick, our injury crisis ahead of El Clasico, and who will face the daunting task of stopping Barcelona's wonderkid Lamine Yamal in the Copa del Rey final. If you're as excited as I am about these developments, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to stay updated with all the latest Real Madrid news. Let's dive right in. Our first story focuses on Carlo Ancelotti's reaction to young Brazilian star Endrick during our recent 1-0 victory against Getafe. The 18-year-old forward, making his first La Liga start since arriving from Palmeiras last summer, found himself in hot water with our legendary manager after attempting a cheeky chip when played through on goal by Vinicius Jr. Although Endrick's effort was cleared off the line after Getafe's goalkeeper David Soria got a hand to it, Ancelotti was visibly furious with the youngster's decision-making. The Italian tactician immediately substituted Endrick, bringing on Jude Bellingham in his place. In his post-match press conference, Ancelotti didn't hold back, stating that Endrick needs to avoid his theatrical stuff on the pitch. He acknowledged that the Brazilian had 2 good chances during the match, but emphasized that the teenager has to learn from the failed chip attempt. This incident highlights the high standards expected at Real Madrid, even for young talents. Despite the criticism, it's worth noting that Endrick has already achieved some significant milestones. He became the first Madrid player to score 5 goals in a single Copa del Rey campaign since Cristiano Ronaldo in 2013. However, his league statistics tell a different story. He's only played 213 minutes in La Liga this season, including the 64 minutes against Getafe, and has scored just 1 league goal. Ancelotti's treatment of Endrick follows his previous comments about the Brazilian needing to suck it up on the bench before earning a starting position. The manager has pointed out that this is the standard path for even the most talented players at Real Madrid, citing examples like Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Federico Valverde, and Eduardo Camavinga, who all had to be patient before becoming regular starters. In concerning news for Madridistas, our victory against Getafe came at a significant cost. Carlo Ancelotti confirmed in his post-match comments that both David Alaba and Eduardo Camavinga sustained muscular injuries during the match, which will likely rule them out of Saturday's crucial Copa del Rey final against Barcelona. This injury crisis leaves us with extremely limited options at left-back. With Ferland Mendy already sidelined for several weeks, Ancelotti confirmed, Fran Garcia is the only left-back option to face Barcelona. This situation puts enormous pressure on Fran Garcia, who hasn't typically been Ancelotti's first choice for big matches. In fact, the manager has shown more trust in Alaba for high-stakes games, as evidenced by his selection in both fixtures against Arsenal in our Champions League exit. Camavinga's absence is particularly troubling, given his strong record against Barcelona and his recent good form. The versatile Frenchman could have been a valuable option at left-back had he been available. The timing couldn't be worse as we prepare to face our arch-rivals in the Copa del Rey final, our best chance for silverware this season after our Champions League elimination. Barcelona has already defeated us twice this season with a combined score of 9-2. Making this injury crisis all the more concerning. Perhaps the most daunting aspect of our left-back crisis is the prospect of Fran Garcia having to contain Barcelona's teenage sensation Lamine Yamal in the Copa del Rey final. At just 16 years old, Yamal has emerged as one of the most dangerous attackers in world football. His explosive pace, technical ability, and confidence make him an exceptional threat, particularly against a makeshift defense. Ancelotti's confirmation that Garcia will be our only option at left-back places enormous responsibility on the Spaniards' shoulders. While Garcia offers more pace than Alaba, which could be crucial against Yamal, he'll need to produce what many are calling the game of his life to successfully contain Barcelona's wonderkid. The challenge is not just about individual duels, however. Real Madrid will need to adopt a collective approach to limiting Yamal's influence. This could involve midfield support and strategic positioning to prevent the young winger from getting into dangerous one-on-one situations. In more positive news, Arda Guler continued his impressive development by scoring the winning goal against Getafe. The young Turkish talent has been showing glimpses of his enormous potential, and Ancelotti had some interesting insights about his future role at the club. Guler's future is going to be more as a midfielder than a forward, Ancelotti revealed in his post-match comments. The quality he has in the construction of the game is phenomenal. This positional assessment from Ancelotti suggests that the club has a clear development path for Guler, seeing him as a creative force from deeper positions rather than as a pure forward. This could potentially influence our transfer strategy in the coming windows, as we might prioritize attacking reinforcements while developing Guler as a midfield orchestrator. Our match against Getafe was unfortunately marred by an incident of racist abuse. The game was briefly paused in the second half when midfielder Aurelien Tchouameni approached the referee, who subsequently spoke with both managers and a police officer. A message was then played over the public announcement system asking fans to avoid using racist language. This incident highlights the ongoing battle against racism in Spanish football, an issue that has affected several of our players in recent seasons. The club continues to stand firmly against all forms of discrimination, and we hope appropriate actions will be taken against any individuals involved in such behavior. Now for our expert analysis segment. Looking at these developments, several key points emerge. First, Ancelotti's public criticism of Endrick reflects the high-pressure environment at Real Madrid. While some might question whether this approach is too harsh for an 18-year-old still, adapting to European football, it's worth remembering that Ancelotti has successfully developed numerous young talents into world-class players. His track record suggests that this tough love approach often yields results. Second, our defensive crisis ahead of the Copa del Rey final presents a significant tactical challenge. Expect Barcelona to target our left flank repeatedly, attempting to isolate Yamal against Fran Garcia. Ancelotti will likely need to provide additional defensive support on that side, perhaps through a more conservative approach from our right-sided midfielders. Finally, Guler's development as a midfielder, rather than a forward, could be a masterstroke in the long term. His vision and technical ability make him ideal for a creative midfield role, potentially becoming the heir to Luka Modric in orchestrating our play from deeper positions. And that wraps up today's Real Madrid news. We've covered Ancelotti's criticism of Endrick, our defensive crisis ahead of the Copa del Rey final, the challenge of containing Lamine Yamal, Guler's impressive performance, and unfortunately, the racism incident at the Coliseum. The Copa del Rey final against Barcelona on Saturday represents our best chance for silverware this season, so let's all hope for a victory despite these challenges. What do you think about Ancelotti's handling of Endrick? Can Fran Garcia successfully contain Yamal? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more Real Madrid content. That's all for today. Please leave your comments below and hit the like button. Thank you for watching.